Good morning, good morning, good morning, Facebook family and friends. Happy Sunday. Good morning, good morning. Well, welcome to a remote location. I guess I'll be doing a lot of remote location wisdom walks in the coming weeks and coming month, since the Queen and I are going to be traveling a little bit. So we'll be in different destinations, so you'll be hearing different wisdom walks from different places. And this morning, wanted to go over the decision. So wisdom walk number 26, the decision. So we have, everybody has that. That's a beautiful thing in life. We all have a decision. We all have a decision to make every day, every morning. Some people make decisions that are gonna help them. Some people make decisions that's gonna hurt them. But at least we get to make a decision. One of the things I kind of go over also is not making a decision is also a decision. So deciding not to do something always also makes a decision. Now, the interesting part about making decisions is you have the ability to change that at any time. So right now I think it's a little bit after 8. Let's just call it 8:10. So there's nothing I can do about whatever decision I chose to do at 8:09, but there's a lot I can do about the decision for 8:11. So you can always start over it every time. You have this reset button when it comes to decisions. And I'll give you an example because you guys know I like to tell stories. So I'll give you an example. My buddy Rabu called me. I think he didn't really call me on this. We were just talking back, I think it was close to Memorial Day weekend back in May of 2020. And this is when, before Lisa and I sold NBTV, and we were really doing very, very well with it, and things were going, and I had a few other things going, and I wasn't ready to make that decision. He told me about what he was planning, didn't have a whole bunch of details. I know he's had massive success in his life, but sometimes when you're ready to make a decision, you don't see clearly. You don't see everything around you. It's the timing of everything sometimes. And I know the Queen tells me, don't worry about it, there's nothing we can do about the past, which I know that's true because I preach the same thing. So I'm like, wish I would have made a different decision back in May of 2020. Things would have been a little different, but maybe it wasn't time. So sometimes I wish I had a person that did wisdom walks, or a mentor that is telling me different things I should be doing or not should be doing, but just give me a different outlook so I can think. And if I had one of these wisdom walks from someone else, maybe I would have made a different decision. So he told me about it, and I went, yeah, I thought it's really good. And him and I had some really, really deep and depth conversations about helping people and how we want to change people's lives, because that's truly in our heart. That's one of the things I love about him. And I didn't jump on it. I didn't make the decision to jump on and do what he was doing right away. And I watched his success. He started doing very, very well. And then things changed in my life a little bit. We, moved over to a different company. I dropped some of the income streams, want to get myself ready to retire. I knew we were going to expand Envy, which is something that we talked about over 2 years ago when we first launched it. Envy was not going to be a streaming television company. That was just going to be the start of what we do. And there were many things to come. And for everybody's awareness, there's many more things to come. So it's a community, it's a lifestyle. It's not a company, it's just something we do to enrich people's lives and take them to another place. So that decision I made back in May to continue doing what I'm doing, I think probably cost me, if I had to do the math on it, I would say it probably cost me $3 to $4 million in liquid green cash. But again, nothing you can do about a minute ago. All you could do is what's ahead of you. So hopefully today I will touch someone, and this story will touch them to make a decision right now, today, because it's that simple. So December rolled around, the story a little bit, 6 or 8 months later, December rolls around, and I see his continued success. I see him pick up a beautiful Lamborghini for his wife. I see him pay off his home, see him pay off all his debt. And he said, yeah, I think I'm gonna surprise myself and treat myself a little bit and get a Lambo for myself also. The part that was mostly impressive for me is the fact that he had tons of team members starting to do the same thing, starting to become debt-free, starting to free themselves from the shackles of debt and the shackles of slavery is what I call it in this country, where you have to work, and go to get your weekends off, and then back Monday you're repeating the process. You know, you work 5 days, get 2 off, then work 5 days, get 2 off, and then you die. Doesn't look that appealing to me. It doesn't sound that appealing to me, even though that's what the road I was heading down years ago. Finally decided there's another way. So as we evolve and continue going, the decision you make is so important for everything in your life. I mean, it's so important. I mean, just that split moment decision. I mean, I think back to the decision when Kelly, my friend Kelly and Laura, kind of played matchmaker with the Queen and I, and told me to, you need to call her after I met her at a party at my house for the first time many, many years ago. And that decision, that split-second decision, changed my life forever. Absolutely changed my life forever. Found my best friend, married my best friend, and have an amazing life with her, just by that quick decision. So I called Rabu. I saw him talking about a new venture he was going to be doing called Daisy. So I just texted him real quick. I said, "What's Daisy?" He goes, "Man, something special. We've been putting off the launches of it because it's been so popular, and we had to get the websites together and all that stuff." And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Send me all the information." And at that moment, it was 12:30. He sent me all the information, and I made a decision. Just like I made that decision to call the Queen when my friends kind of played matchmaker. So I made that decision. Good morning.
Good morning.
I made that decision to jump in and look at everything you did. Didn't understand it all, had no clue. And that's the coolest thing about a decision. It's your mindset. It's what you believe. It's what you, if you want something bad enough, you'll figure it out. So I looked at his promo page, and it was CFX this, I didn't even remember the names. It was Daisy this, Hyperfund this, all this stuff that I didn't understand. And I'm like, I don't get it. Get this wallet, get that wallet, do this, do that. And I'm calling him, I'm like, dude, I don't get all this stuff. He says, don't worry, I have a whole bunch of videos. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just in. So it took me about I immediately moved. That's about one thing about decisions. When I make a decision, I'm in. So I don't know what your personality is like. I don't know what your belief structure is, but to me, when you decide to do something, you have to go all in and do it right away. That's the beautiful part about decision. There's no, I'll do a little bit today, then next month I'll do a little bit. You're not gonna, decision works with massive action. And if you're not doing massive action, the decision is probably not gonna do very well for you. So I jumped in, signed up for everything. I had no clue what I was signing up for. In fact, it was so funny, one of the ones which has been the biggest financial gain for the Queen and I is AutoBTC. And I didn't even understand it enough that I signed up and I paid, I invested twice to the same tier, which I'm not supposed to do that. That was just so funny. I didn't even know. It was just really weird. But so I signed up, did it, started learning. And that decision, once I saw it, I went, you know, I'm gonna do a little bit of an experiment. Based on that decision, I'm gonna do an experiment to fully come out of semi-retirement, and the Queen and I are done with traditional businesses. We're done. We're done with all the no working anymore. We're like done. We are now gonna hire new employees, and our new employees is money. That's our money. Our cash that we have gotten, the cash that we have set up. I no longer need any additional income from anything coming in. I'm just gonna hire my cash and let my cash start working for me. You guys have seen some of my videos where I talk about parents and having babies. So I'm just gonna have the babies take care of it, right? So I said, okay, well, just to prove to the world, because my heart and the Queen's in my heart is about helping people, giving back. We've always been that way since 2002, after we left corporate America. I went, okay, I'm gonna do an experiment. Rabu told me to jump on all this stuff. I don't know if it works. Made a decision. When I make a decision, I'm gonna stick to it. Because one of the biggest things about decisions is if you have a little bit of a downlay or something goes a little bit wrong, not to plan, it's very, very simple for the human mind to go, I'm gonna make another decision. I'm not gonna do that anymore. That's the killer. That's the biggest killer you can have. You gotta stay the course and you gotta stay focused. It's gonna be ups and downs on it, but the minute you take away the course, you're starting all over again, you're done. So, jumped in, didn't know what I was doing, but made a commitment. And the commitment was, okay, in 30 days, we want to put ourselves in position to replace all the income that we had coming in 30 days. To the point that we can live comfortably, pay off any debt that we have, and don't ever have to go to work again, don't ever have to work at anything again, don't ever have to do an affiliate marketing company again, don't have to do anything, just we're done. Now the money is now hired and we go to work. So I made that commitment and I decided, if I go high from what I'm seeing, if I start off high with 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, most people won't be able to do that and won't be a true situation for people to follow. It wouldn't be a true situation for me to follow. So I decided, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with $800. I think just about anybody can come up with $800. If you can't come up with $800, go sell something in your garage or in your closet or whatever, or cut down on some bills for a couple of months until you can accommodate that $800. So decided to do that, put up the $800, made that decision. So important to make that decision, okay? So I made that decision for 30 days and the rest was history. You guys have seen the documentation beats conversation. You've seen me do it live. I showed the numbers live on Facebook and took it to $1,733 per month. Per day, I'm sorry. $1,733 per day, which is enough to retire anybody. So prove the point, that was it, we're done, walk away. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you understand the significance, and I think I've talked about this before, so I don't want to disrespect anybody in any way at all. But look, if you have a job and you love your job and it brings you happiness, it brings you, comfort, keep doing it. There's nothing wrong with doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you're a person that you go to work just to pay bills and put yourself in a position that you have to repeat that cycle. Ooh, those London Bridge steps are tough. You have to repeat that cycle every week and put yourself in a position where, I've talked about it, you don't know where the next paycheck's coming in, it's gone. After you pay your bills, you gotta go back to work to do it again. If you're in that position and you don't want to be in that position anymore, there are other ways. There's multiple income streams you can get passively. A lot of people misunderstand and think everything that we do, you have to recruit people or you have to sell. There's no recruiting of anyone. To me, recruiting someone for a company or product is selling something to them, selling them creams or selling them pills. Look, I have friends that are very successful in that industry. I have nothing against that industry. I think it's wonderful. I'm just not going to do it anymore. It's not something I feel comfortable doing. I rather my money work for me than I work for my money. So this scenario is simple. You're going to put your money in. You don't pay a fee. You don't pay a monthly fee. You don't pay anything. And literally, you grow that money from that decision that you've made to walk away from your job. And that's all it is. It's just a decision. It's a mindset. It's something that you choose to do. And now your Saturdays and Sundays, because of the decision you made, becomes your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays. What a amazing situation that could be just by making a decision. You get to make a decision to be happy. You get to make a decision to be negative. You get to make a decision to be kind to people. You get to make a decision to be mean to people. It's amazing, you know. It's like, in fact, I'm gonna show you guys something right now. It's so funny. I made a decision when I was going for my wisdom walk this morning before I get the boat out of the water. Look at this right here. These two young gentlemen, I'm sure they're working on their this is their summer break, or their break right now. They work for the Heat Hotel, and I saw them this morning, and the guy was so kind to me when I came up on Friday. There he is right there, both of them. He says, hey, do you need anything? When I was walking out, when I pull up on Friday, he goes, I can get you some ice, I can get you whatever. And he goes, I'll even wipe the boat down for you. So this morning I was walking out and I made a decision to have them wipe the boat down. And I'm going to make another decision here in a minute to give them a $100 bill for the both of them to share, which is probably, they look about 17, 18 years old. And let me flip over again. And they're probably going to be very, very shocked at that. So they'll probably tell that story. But look at both of them. They're wiping down the boat, getting all ready. But they're about to get a little bit of a surprise when I get down there, because I'm going to give them $100. Now, it's funny why I'm going to do that. Because last night it got a little bit windy, and they helped me tie the boat down when I came back. And one of the lines, I can see the boat was a little bit of an angle. Now I'm sitting in my room and I'm watching the boat from the room. I was sitting in the patio. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about so you get the general picture. So I think normally I'm in that room right up there, but they were sold out this weekend. So anyway, I was sitting in the room and you can see the boat from the room. And I saw him, the guy in the red shirt, I saw him walk by the boat, and the boat was kind of like angled a little bit in the slip. And I'm just watching him. He can't see me because it was dark. And he had something in his hand. He put it down. He went up to the back of the boat and he pulled I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. Anyway, so he straightened up the lines because of the wind. And I went, now that kid is like, he didn't have to do that. He's not paid to do that. But he did it because it was the right thing to do. And I went, wow. That's pretty cool. So I walked down there, and I think he was just about heading off work, and I gave him like $40, and he was like really, really surprised. So it's just being nice. It's just paying it forward. It's just passing it on. Now today I'm gonna kind of like totally surprise and give a $100 bill, and that's really gonna freak him out. But it's a decision. So I can be a decision right now to be cheap and just tell him thank you, because there's no real charge for him to do that. He just offered it. I can say, you know what, I'm just gonna give him. Yesterday I was parked in the channel for a while, and again, this is decisions you make. And I was parked next to this huge family. There were a whole bunch of them, dads and moms and kids and all that stuff, and we're parked there for probably about 2 hours. And I can tell one of the dads asked me, he says, I said, sure. He goes, thank you so much. I mean, the guy kept like thanking me like it was a big deal for him to see inside the boat. So I know this will be something special for them. They'll remember it, whatever. So I looked at the dad. I says, any 5 people, just pick 5, because there's like 15 people in the boat. I said, I'll take 5 people for a ride right now, any 5 people. And that was just something so cool for them. And again, it's a decision. Whatever decision you make, I made a decision to be kind, to do something nice. And one of the girls that went in the boat, she looked like she was about, and I was like, you got some good parents. She looked like she was probably about maybe 19 maybe. And they were like all excited. They were taking all their little selfies and their videos. And she goes, hey, you know, thank you for doing this for the family and whatever. My dad appreciates it. Everybody appreciates it. And he goes, can I give you like $10 for gas? And I'm like, you're good. I appreciate it though. But just the offer of that was like so cool that they did that. I mean, I'm like, that little run that we just did was about $150 in gas. But I just thought it was kind of cool. So again, it was just a decision I made. So to end this, I hope every single one of you make whatever decision in your life today. Yeah, I know. I'm stopped in one place now, so hopefully it won't cut out anymore. So anyway, I hope everybody makes the right decisions in your life today, whatever that decision may be. To be kind. I sure hope you don't make a decision to be mean. And I hope you make a decision that enriches your life, enriches everything that you're planning on doing, because we're going to continue doing things in our group. Envy is a lifestyle, and we're going to spread that lifestyle. Remember the challenge of envy. Oh, I can tell you a little story too. Yesterday, we went up to Pirates Cove. This is like this one. I had to call the Queen immediately and tell her this. So I pull up to the Private Cove, and normally because of the size of the boat and everything else, everybody's always like, "Hey, nice boat," or whatever. They talk, and it's kind of cool. And people always ask a million questions, and I'm cool about it. I just answer it because even though sometimes it could be kind of like overwhelming a little bit, I just answered them anyway. So I pulled up to Pirates Cove, and this guy, he like waves because a lot of people see the boat here lots of times, so he waves or whatever, and I wave back because boating is a little bit, for those of you that are not boaters, boating community is a completely different community. Everybody waves at everybody's friendly. It's like an amazing thing. If you're not a boater, you should try it. It's pretty cool. So he waves, and then he started talking to me, and he's asking about the boat and saving all that stuff, and I'm saying hi and all that stuff. And the weirdest thing, he goes, "Hey, can you," because I'm inside the boat, and the boat's pretty long, so he's like on the shore, and I'm inside the boat. He goes, "Can you come here for a second? My wife wants to meet you." I'm like, "Sure." So I walk up, and he says, "This is my wife," and I met his wife, and she says, "I'm so thankful for your wisdom walks." I was like, "Okay." She says, "I watch them every time you do them." She goes, "I love Auto BTC. I love Daisy. I can't wait for Daisy to start up again." I'm sitting here going, "You got to be kidding me right now, right?" And she is going on about envy, like completely. And he goes, "Yeah, she's doing all the work and she's teaching me while I work, but we're gonna, put ourselves into the situation of retirement, and we're gonna put ourselves," and I'm sitting here, my mouth like fell open. I'm like, "You're like kidding me right now, right?" And they're going through all this process of everything envy is doing, and I'm like, wow. You never know the decisions that you're making, how it touches people, and how it can change people's lives. You never know. So then, I know I'm going on long, and then I received this text message. I should probably just post it on our page, on our MB page, of this gentleman that I looked back to it in the text messages, and he, first time he texted me was back in 2017. That was a while ago, 4 years ago. And I was watching some of the texts in between, and he was watching some of the things that we do. This is when we had active companies, and we're at Envy, and we're doing different things. And he was a little bit scared, and he said, "I've been watching you recently." And he goes, "Even though my life sometimes is tough, I'm procrastinating. I keep telling my wife I need to get this thing done. But I'll tell you, I have some tough days sometimes. I'm sad sometimes. Sometimes I have depression. And I pop in your wisdom walks, and they fire me up, and they change my day, and I think differently. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate everything you've done." And I sit there and I go, wow. And I called the Queen, and I was telling her about it. She says, "It's amazing how God has put you on this planet to do this, and to put people in a different mindset. And, we don't charge for this stuff. This is just something we do, and I do because I love doing it. I do because I want to see someone change. You never know who you're touching." So let me close now. So, ladies and gentlemen, the decisions you make can affect so much more than just you. It can affect so much more than just you. So please make the right decision today. Okay, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.